Everything is bigger in Texas, and this is about as big as it gets. If you thought Ford F-150s were big, this puts an F-150 to shame. This 2018 Ford F-150 Raptor is one of Ford's most ridiculous creations. Ridiculously cool, that is. This truck is bigger, wider, and way more aggressive than a standard Ford F-150, and also happens to be one of my favorites. What makes the front end of the Raptor even more aggressive are these lights up front. When you see these in your rearview mirror, this is really an intimidating look. This is such a cool looking truck that I don't know why you would ever get a regular F-150 over this Raptor. Even the calligraphy of the Raptor lettering is cool. As you can tell by what this truck stands for, this is clearly meant to tackle the rockiest of terrains out there, the sand dunes, the beaches. Check out the insane ground clearance on this thing. This Raptor has some crazy shocks along with humongous rubber, perfect for off-roading. There's literally nothing on the planet that you can't drive over with this crazy Raptor. With all of this truck's off-roading capabilities, most owners that have this vehicle probably never even take it off the street. But that doesn't matter. Whoever owns trucks like these are owning the coolest truck that exists today. I don't think anybody needs to be reminded that this thing, in fact, is a Ford. I can always appreciate a truck that has dual exhaust pipes. This truck not only looks the part, it's actually quite quick. This thing is powered by Ford's EcoBoost engine, 3.5 liter V6, 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. Pretty impressive stuff from Ford. You have some sportiness going on with this Raptor with hood scoops on the hood and also air vents on the side fenders. In case you need to make your way onto the bed, you have a step to help you out. So it started raining and I had to find some shelter. Remember what I was telling you about these aggressive lights? Really stands out when it's dark. In most SUVs or trucks, you have running boards, but you don't really need them. In this one, you do. In the same way that it looks huge on the outside, on the inside, it's the same story. It's incredibly spacious, tons of room, very relaxing and comfortable in here. The seats feel nice and supportive, and you have Raptor logos on all of them. Straightforward climate control buttons along with your media center. This is a 2018, so the things on here are outdated, but that's to be expected. This is a 4x4 after all, and it's meant to tow and haul things, so you have a lot of 4x4 settings. You have trailer backup, four-wheel drive high, low, automatic. For drive modes, you have normal, sport, weather, mud, sand, Baja, rock crawl. Sadly, there is no parking lot setting because that's where I'm spending the most amount of time with this Raptor. The one secret benefit of this truck is you can use this to exercise. A few laps around this thing and you will have your 10,000 steps. That was my exercise for the day. And if you want to relax after your exercise, just get in here and lay down. You could tow a camper shell with this truck, but do you really need to? This thing is your RV. If you wanted to sell your house and get a Raptor, you could, because the Raptor could in fact be your house. Just like you do in your house, you have actual outlets so you can plug in whatever you want. This also has one of the largest center consoles I've ever seen in a vehicle. This center console is about a mile wide and goes on forever. Of all of the vehicles out there, the Raptor is probably the best vehicle for a passenger because look just how much legroom there is. You could stretch out in here as much as you want and be completely at peace. With this open sunroof, the interior feels even more spacious than it already is. On this Raptor, you have a steering wheel button. You push it to adjust your steering feel between normal, sport, comfort. Using these buttons, you can shift your gears up and down. And for some reason, this has a 10-speed transmission. And using that button, you can start erasing your gears one by one. That's a lot of gears. This Ford F-150 Raptor is huge, comfortable, got all kinds of utility, is an off-roading maniac. Best part, 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. It's time to check it out. When you first get in and start driving, you are absolutely going to feel the size, and you're way above the ground than you typically would be in anything else, cars, SUVs included. This is just a very tall vehicle and you feel it. But it's also kind of cool, you feel invincible. This truck might as well be a tank because you could run over things. It's crazy to think that for a truck that weighs over 5,000 pounds, this still hits 60 miles per hour in about 5 seconds. Doesn't sound bad either under throttle. Not bad pickup for a pickup. If you want to, you could pilot this massive Raptor in manual mode and shift gears with these paddle shifters. Shift all 10 gears back and forth at your heart's desire. The shifting isn't that great though. It's kind of laggy, it's not very crisp or quick. You might as well keep it in auto and just let it do its thing. I have a Miata in front of me that I'm about to eat with my Raptor. You would think that with those big tires and wheels that the ride would be harsher, you'd have a lot of road noise, but that's really not the case with the Raptor. It's a good ride, it's quiet, you're largely insulated from the world around you. And because it's raining right now, I can attest to the fact that this does indeed drive pretty well in the rain, thanks to its all-weather mode. Although it's not a difficult car to drive, you are aware of how big it is, so you have to be aware of your surroundings and just be more careful in how you're driving. But I'll tell you what, this is a lot better to drive than a Jeep Wrangler. For such a big truck, the handling is decent, I have to say. The Raptor eats up bumpy roads and imperfections pretty easily. You're not gonna feel a whole bunch, but it also feels like something that you can't quite relax in. Because it's not the easiest thing to drive, and maybe it does get easier if you live with one or you own one, but the dimensions of it are so big that you're always hyper aware of exactly where you're driving. And you also have to make sure that you can see everything around you. Ultimately, what makes the Raptor so much fun to drive is the power. The standard F-150 will be slow, it'll mosey along, but this one has the pickup, and getting on the gas every now and then sure is a lot of fun in this. If you're in the market for a Ford F-150, they're already so expensive and even used ones are not cheap. The Raptors you definitely have to pay a premium for, but I think it's completely worth it. The Raptor looks great, it does an excellent job at being a truck, and it's comfortable. When it comes to trucks, the Raptor is a no-brainer purchase and something that you will not regret. Everyone buys an F-150. Stand out and be different with this beautiful Raptor.